Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, um, December 30th, 2025. So one more day left in this year. It's crazy. Getting ready for work. I decided what I want to do. I want to do graphic liner today, for sure. And I want to go with black because I'm wearing all black. And I'm just gonna do regular pigtails today. I can't believe it's the end of the year. I mean, I can, but I can't. Like, it seems to go like really fast. Yesterday, I got a letter in the mail from basically the guy that was the closest thing that I had to a father figure as a kid. He was a pastor. They had 7 kids, lived down the street from me. They were just like the sweetest couple. And every once in a while, I still hear from them, usually around Christmas. We used to talk a little bit more, but you know, life gets busy, and I don't really need those today. I don't really need that. I don't really hear from him all that much. I don't have pockets, so I kind of stick things in my bra instead of my pockets. Anyway, so that's gonna sound crinkly all day. It's annoying. Part of being a girl. You know, you adapt. Anyway. I'm scheduling out these videos now into August. So I've caught up to where I was before, where I was like several months ahead of myself, and now I'm like 8 months ahead of myself, which is nice. I don't know. I think if I get a year ahead of myself, then I'll start scheduling videos every weekday again instead of just every 4 days. 4 days a week. We'll see. Ooh. They still don't have any of this stuff in stock. I'm so like annoyed because this stuff is like the best. I don't know if they're gonna get it back. Maybe it's like permanently sold out. I did buy some other stuff that I haven't. That was too much on there. I haven't actually used yet. So we'll see if it's as good. Maybe they just changed the packaging, because I did buy what they had and it looks like a different package. This one right here and this one right here. I'm not sure which one is the actual replacement. Ooh, I forgot I had these. Maybe I'll use that too. That'll go really well, I think, with what I plan on doing today. You know, this is the same brand as my other one, and it does not seem to work as well. I don't know why. You just don't get as much of a payout from that one. Anyway, I got a very busy day ahead of me today. Because today's the day that I also clean for one of my neighbors and work both my jobs, so very busy day. My first job of the day is 3 hours, and then I'll come home for 2 hours. I plan on playing dolls with Ellie because she wanted to play yesterday and didn't really get a chance to. And then I'll go clean at my neighbor's house, and then I'll go to my other job for a couple hours. So it's gonna be a busy day. Oh my gosh. Look at how broken up this one is getting. I should have just gone ahead and ordered this palette again during their Black Friday sale, but I didn't. So I'm regretting that a little bit. Ooh, that had a lot of fallout. So anyway, so the first thing I'm gonna do is some purple, blue, green makeup. And then I also need to do my lips. Yesterday was the day we got our Amazon subscribe and save stuff. Including a big box of toilet paper and baby wipes and shampoos and soaps and stuff. And because there's not a lot of space to store things, a lot of stuff gets kind of stuck in my little bathroom here, or in my bedroom, so that it's not taking up space where the kids are. And it's just kind of gets annoying. So, and then over the next couple of weeks, we use up all that stuff. And then I get a little bit more space, and then it's time to reorder. So, that's just how it is. So my space ends up being more cluttered than I'd like. But it is what it is. In the summertime, it's a little bit better because I can store stuff out in the shed that I really can't store stuff in the winter. Because soaps and stuff, you can't freeze those. It ruins them. And then, in the summertime also, some stuff can't be stored outside, obviously, because it'll get too hot. So it's kind of, it's whatever. It is what it is. End of the year. It has been a dramatic year, let me tell you what. In good ways, in bad ways. It's been a year of ups and downs. 6 months ago, my marriage was ending and things were really difficult, and then now things are really good. I went through several jobs in the beginning of the year. Those videos are gone now, but I was working at a restaurant making pies, and I was really enjoying my job. And then we didn't get enough snow to bring in the snowmobilers, so the restaurant was taking a downturn, and basically they had to let people go, and I was on the chopping block. So I lost that job. And then I started my current job, working with a special needs adult. And I really love that job, let me tell you what. It was hard at first, getting back into the world of special needs that, had kind of essentially left me behind when Tilk passed away. Why do I just have black all over? Oh, it must be on my brush. And so it's just freaking everywhere. I guess it's because of that broken palette. I'm just gonna have to pull it away. So it makes me sad. I do have other black eyeshadows, but that one's my favorite. But this palette is exploding all over my hand, so now it's gone. Anyway, as I was jumping back into caregiving, it was hard at first. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but it turned out to be exactly what I needed to kind of feel like me again. And then during the summer, I also worked at the local pizza place. I did housekeeping, lawn care, snow removal. I got hired at one point by another company to do snow removal, but then they couldn't make a deal with the county. So, because the company wanted to pay me $90 an hour, which would have been insane and awesome, and the county was like, nope. And then the county said that they would pay $40 per snow removal. So I was like, that's fine, I'll take it. And then they're like, oh, by the way, 40's not 40. 40 is what they would pay the company that hired me, and I would only get 15. I was like, pass that. I'm not doing that. So, and then I got this other caregiving job that kind of like, when I had put in my resume all over the place back in January, I never heard back from a lot of them until like right after I had quit my job at the pizza place. I quit that because it was too stressful for too small amount of money. Nobody wants to be running around like a chicken with their head cut off, doing 4 or 5 jobs at once for like $15 an hour. It was not. I just couldn't do it, especially when I was making quite a bit more at my other job. And then I was offered this other caregiving job, and that's turned out really well too. I was able to bring in enough to completely, I'm going to be stained blue all day. I was able to bring in enough to completely pay off my husband's student loans. And finance a really amazing Christmas for my kids, and a bunch of other things. So overall, like, I worked really damn hard this year. I published over 200 storybooks. A lot of them were poems that I wrote about Teal'c and about grieving. I don't really make money off of those. It's more of a I do this for me sort of thing. I had to like almost restart this channel because I made a rash emotional decision to delete the whole thing, at least all the like longer videos. All the shorter ones stayed, but I deleted like a 1.5 years worth of content where I was posting every day, and I really regret doing that, like deleting all of it. Some of it's gonna come back up because I do still have like not all of the videos, but like a lot of the videos that I did about Teal'c and, you know, who he was as a person and his life and everything. And some of the videos about our trip to Oklahoma last year to see Robbie graduate from basic, and some of the videos from last Christmas. Those are gonna go back up. I've got them scheduled. I had to like look for them through my files, and like most of the time these video files are really big, so I don't keep them. After I edit them and everything and post them, then they're just gone. They're off my computer or whatever. And but I did save those ones. So I edited them all together, so it'll post in like one like really long video because I just want them back on there. I just my tributes to Teal'c and some of our family adventures and stuff. That was such a big journey, if that makes sense. And I wanted to I should have never deleted it in the first place. Anyway, aside from that, I changed my channel name twice this year. Because I thought maybe changing it to my TikTok name would get it more, like it would help it grow. It didn't. That was a failed experiment. And that's okay, you know, live and learn. So I changed it back. Well, a little different. It was Makeup by Sonia 444 when I first started. The 444 never really made sense. It was just that Makeup by Sonia was already taken. And so this time I just changed it to Sonia's Makeup Videos. You know, something simple. That way, maybe people would like see, you know, what the channel is about and, you know, something like that. And then, like I set a goal for myself to like really see how far ahead of myself I can get with posting the little short videos, because those are really fun to make and they don't really take a lot of time. And I'm ending the year out 2.5 years ahead of myself. Also, like my fitness goals. Inadvertently, I ended up gaining weight. But I do feel like at least some of that weight is muscle because I have been really pushing it in the gym, in my workouts. Like really going hard trying to build muscle, and you're going to gain weight on the scale when you're gaining muscle. That's, you know, just how it is. It does F with my brain to see the scale go up. I don't really like that. So I do hope in 2026 to lose a little bit of weight, like especially around my tummy, and see if I can get a more shredded look. Like I know that I'm strong. I also want to be, I want to look strong. My arms are like way more defined than they were last year. That's for sure. I feel like I did meet my goals pretty well. So that's something I'm really happy about. I worked really, really hard. I even surpassed some of my goals. I had initially set a goal for like my books. I had planned on doing 100. I know that sounds insane, but I did 200. I improved my art skills, my makeup skills. Overall, I would say it was a pretty good year. A lot of it was trying to keep busy to not have to feel the grief as much. You know, the busier you are, the easier it is to kind of cope.
Mom.
Love you too, honey. Did you have a good night? Awesome. I love you too, baby. Overall, though, it was good. It was a good year. I ran a prayer ministry for the last 2 years, which I really can't keep up with anymore. I was essentially I was praying for people, about 30 people every night, and then over the last couple of months that list has gotten smaller and smaller because a lot of the things that we were praying for people finally was resolved. And So I've seen a lot of like change, a lot of like miracles in other people's lives, and that's really amazing. That was really special being part of that and watching people's lives change. Um, this year I've made a lot of friends, people that used to be my people, my family, my tribe, really kind of abandoned me after Till passed away. And new people came in. Most of them are elderly. Most of them have been through something similar. But I have a new tribe of people, a new family of friends that have come around us. My kids have been amazing. You know, Robbie was in the Army and now he's not. He was honorably discharged after a series of terrible things happened to him. And so he's home, thank God. So glad he's home with the current political climate. I don't want him in the Army. I feel like I have an eyelash on my eye and I'm worried I'm gonna ruin my makeup. Dylan had several jobs. He's still working at the school, but he was also working as a manager at Culver's for a while and some other jobs. He was doing DoorDash. All of my kids all my living kids ended up under one roof again, and that was pretty cool. Definitely unexpected. I never expected them all to come back home. Because, you know, adult kids don't usually come back home. I thought Robbie was going to be in the Army long term, and that, you know, I had been working towards getting out to Germany where he was stationed, and then all of a sudden he was, you know, coming home. And Dylan's now moved out again. The holidays went really well. I mean, all the kids here. There's still that emptiness, that heaviness without Tilk. You know, I feel like it's always going to be part of our life, part of our story. It's always going to hurt if he's not here. But all in all, it wasn't a bad year. I'm trying to decide if I want to do. I think I want to do like maybe some purple lines on this too. I'm going to do light purple or dark purple. I don't have the right color blue to add blue to this, so I'm not going to add blue. Oh yeah, I like that actually. I feel like I've definitely got more experimental with my makeup lately. For a while, I was just kind of always doing like the same thing. But I was getting a little bored. What's purple? Do I want to add the light purple? I kind of do. It's kind of starting to remind me of butterfly wings. Didn't pick up enough on it there. Taylor's art has been improving so well. I told Rob the other day, well, I've been telling him for a couple of weeks that I really want to get her a drawing tablet. And so she doesn't know this yet. Well, she will by the time this comes out, obviously, but he bought her one. I was thinking it was going to take me like months to earn up for it because I was basically going to like put all anything extra that I was able to earn from like lawn mowing or shoveling. I was going to put that towards it. Oh, he surprised me yesterday. Ronan decided he wanted to help, and so it's gonna be here on Friday, and he's gonna set it up and everything, and it might take a day or so for him to set it up. She has no idea. She knows that I'm like that I have a goal set to get one for her, but she has no idea. Hers is going to be like way better than mine because it's brand new, and mine is like 4 years old at this point. And I am just so excited to see what she's going to do with it. Honestly, it's incredible watching my kids just blossom with their talents and just I love it. Ronan with his baking and his duckies. And oh, Ronan's gonna be in a play in April. And I'm so excited for that. He's been wanting to do that for a long time. The only awkward thing is he has to dance with his ex-girlfriend. So that's gonna be interesting. He says he's not worried about it, but she definitely acts awkward about it. When she broke up with him, it was like really weird. She was like doing mixed signals and playing head games and stuff, and then she was like, "We should break up." And he was like, "Whatever. That's what you want." And he was hurt. He was sad, but he just moved on, and just kind of whatever. I think she was expecting him to be like more publicly upset about it. I don't know what she was going for. But I'm really excited for him to be in that play. He's been wanting to get into acting for a while. There was supposed to be one last year that he got a big part in. The problem was they didn't have enough people join the play to actually do the play. So that one got shelved. But this time, they actually do have a full cast. So, yeah, should be exciting. All right then, that's the look for today. See you guys real soon.